for tonight? What are you hoping to learn? Say referencing. Okay, we'll quickly look into how to reference within the IIE. Okay, referencing 101. That's what we titled today's presentation. Okay. I'll ask my colleague to also drop on the chat the link to the library website, or if possible, upload the referencing guide. Okay. You should have a copy of this within your modules on ARC. Some lecturers do upload it, but yes, we have a 2026 referencing guide, and we'll quickly fly through it now in the few minutes that we have. So thanks to Michelle. Sakile is my name. We work together with Tanya and Estia Kruger. We are a team of 4 within the Information Center or Information Services, aka library. Right. So quickly, what is referencing? What is your understanding of referencing? Do we have one brave soul who would want to unmute their mic and share with the class? What do you understand referencing to be? Yes, Kevin. Javier, Mr. Naidu.
Yes, that's correct. So my understanding of referencing is that obviously we do research projects and assignments that is supported by other people's research in order to support our theory or topic, and therefore to give acknowledgements to such research papers and researchers in order to avoid plagiarism in terms of making that research support document as your own.
100%. Well said. So the dangers of not referencing are quickly 1 or 2 that can come to mind. What happens if we don't reference? It then becomes plagiarism. Am I correct?
Yes, that's
Say
right.
yes.
Sakile, I think,
Thank you so
I'm
much.
not sure, are you sharing full screen so you can't see the chat?
Yeah, no, I can't see
Okay.
the chat.
Okay, so yes, they did answer. 2 of them got it correct. Well done, guys.
Yay. See us after the class. We have a chocolate for you. Okay. This is how our reference guide look like. Okay. You will access it from the IIE library website or Emirates website. Yes, library website. Okay. So we're still transitioning from IIE to Emirates. Okay. That's how the guide look like. Make sure top right corner, it has the year 2026, right? This guide is adapted for the IIE, so follow it to the latter. We'll also get into Microsoft Word, whereby they have Anglia also, and we tried to tailor the guide in such a way that it speaks to what's on the tool, okay, just to make life easier. But if you were to reference manually, you would use the guide. If you want to automate your references, you're welcome to use the Microsoft Word tool. But then just double check if it correlates to what's on the referencing guide. Okay. What is the difference between a citation and a reference? Would want to share with the class group? Is it the same thing? Do you understand it to be one? Or is there a difference between? Yes, Phoenix.
A citation is usually within your work, and you like put it in brackets, whilst the references come at the end of the essay or project.
100%. Well done. Yes. So citation is a brief indication made within the body of your essay, your assignment, or POE, portfolio of evidence. or your research paper, and then a reference normally would come towards the end of your assessment. Sorry, a reference list, yes. So there's a difference again, very important to note, between a reference list and a bibliography. Okay, bibliography would be all the sources that you consulted whilst working on an assignment, whatever you read. Some you used, some you did not use. But a reference list is only a list of the references that you used and cited within your document. So if it's not cited in text, it must not appear on your reference list. Yeah. Bottom of our screen, note there a submission without in-text citations or a reference list will immediately be flagged for plagiarism. Okay. You will have to now add those references and resubmit, and the resubmission will be kept at 50%. If you plagiarize again, your assignment will be marked out of a 0. And if you do it for the 3rd time, that's expulsion. Okay. I hope we won't get that far. Hence, we're having the sentences. This sessions. Okay. So on the guide, I think this is page 6 or so. You check and confirm, but this is how you'd go about referencing a book with 3 authors. The first column is the source, followed by in text, and it must be paraphrased. Very important. So you don't just copy and paste in your assignment, but you rephrase or reword the sentence or the paragraph in your own ways or how you understand it. Very important at postgrad level. We want to see your thinking. So your understanding must come forth in your writing, in your paper. We shouldn't be reading about what Mr. Smith and Van Elstens and Duploy and Silias are saying. We know, we've read those books a lot, research matters, you name them, and your lecturers know that content from front to cover, and we would want to get your understanding. That's what you are being tested on. So don't neglect your voice when writing. Let those ideas flow. But again, make sure that your thinking is backed up by research, and you would have to reference your sources. Okay. The 3rd column, in text direct quote. If you directly quote, now you'll have to add the page number, key, dot, and the page number of the content you got. And then the far right, we detail on how you would go about now referencing that item. So if you check those bullet points there, number 1 would be the author's surname, followed by a comma, then the initials, very important, joined by A and B, not an ampersand. Okay? Then you must have full stops between initials. See how detailed this is. The year should not be in brackets. Okay. This is very important. If you can all unmute your mics and say, yes, we hear you. Or yes, I hear you. What am I saying you this evening? The year of publication should not be in brackets. Is that clear?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we hear you.
Yes.
Yes, we hear you.
I see a hand up. Before I give you a chance to speak, take note. Referencing counts for about 10% of your final mark. Technical aspects, another 10, and then content 80%. So just by browsing or looking through your reference list and I see your year in brackets, then that quickly tells me that you didn't go through the guide or you didn't use the word tool. Can you see my screen now? Check an example of a reference list. This is how it should look like in essence. The year is not in brackets. Okay. Who had their hand up? Do you have a question there? Okay. We'll discuss the reference list again quickly. Where we write in-text citation. So please add an in-text citation either beginning of your sentence, within your sentence, or towards the end or the last part of your sentence. So you have your statement, and then in brackets, Green et al., which means and many more or many others, 2 or 3 authors. Okay. And then the year of publication, close bracket, full stop within that. So use these 3 interchangeably. Okay. So you shouldn't have according to Green 1995 throughout the assignment. No. Play around with these 3 strategies. That's why, again, we're having this session to teach you. It just flows and read better if you use, if you reference or you in-text reference using these 3 formats. And then your reference list, again, looks something like that. Take note of what should be in italics and where should we have a full stop, where should we have a comma, the guide details on this. The place of publication again, and the publisher, know these things. Once you master them now, you set for life. I normally say you set for the rest of the semester or the rest of the year, but these are skills that you'll use wherever you go. You'll have to reference, be it drafting a report at work or pitching for a project, submitting a tender file, these skills are very important. Yes, Mr. Naidu.
Hi, Zakile. I'm not sure if I'm jumping the gun. I just wanted to find out, one of our lecturers did mention that we should not be doing manual referencing, that we
Yeah.
should be doing online referencing. Are you going to maybe show us that during this presentation?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. We'll quickly get
thank
into
you.
that. Thank you so much. I see also we have about 15 minutes to go. So if you were to reference your module manual, okay, or your lecture slides, that content belongs to the IIE or the MRS. So you'd say the IIE 2026, okay? And the reference list will also have the current year, and then you have the name of your module, the module code, and the Independent Institute of Education, unpublished, right? So you are allowed to reference your class materials and everything else on ARC, but you refer to it as the IIE, not your lecturer. Your lecturer is affiliated to the IIE. Okay, how would you go about referencing a website? You would do that. The tool will do it for you because your lecturer recommended that you use the tool. Okay, we'll get into that, how to do secondary referencing. Very important, eh? So start with the first source cited in that other source. Okay. What I want you to note again is that always have matching entries for your in-text citations and your reference list. The two must speak to each other. Yeah, attention, punctuation, as per the far right, or is it third or fourth column in your referencing guide. They told you what should be in italics, what should be a full stop, where should a comma be, and all that. Okay. Remember, reference online images and pictures, unless you created it yourself. But again, what inspired you to create that image? Yeah. Reference. Page numbers are only for direct quotes. Do not bullet or number your reference list. Okay. It's just unacceptable. You press enter to leave the line in between your references and your reference list. Okay. AI tools should not be referenced, but rather acknowledged in an annexure. Okay. There's an AI use disclosure document, and you will find the annexures there. Just show you now. Reference list must be in alphabetical order, right? If I could pin this somewhere for you not to forget it, let me repeat it. The reference list must be in alphabetical order. Say amen if you heard that.
Amen.
Amen.
Good.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes,
Amen.
please help us there.
Amen.
Very
Amen.
important. Okay, so this is an example of how in-text citations should look like. Okay, in text within the document, the year should be in brackets, but on your reference list, the year is not in brackets. Well-written assignment. Check how neat it is. So I normally say you must have at least one reference in every paragraph, minimum. But we can't have 2-3 paragraphs, half a page without a reference. Where is that content coming from? Is it even credible? So what we want from you is research. You are scholars. We want you to read widely and extensively. Read those articles, reference. Your reference list shouldn't have 2-3 sources. No, you are lazy. Give us more references there. Get articles from Google Scholar, from the library website, and cite those sources. See what other scholars are saying within the field. Okay, so we won't speak to AI today, but just be careful on how you use AI. We've got a session coming up the next week. I think it's 11 March. Michelle will take you through the labeling and use of AI. Okay. But if you can spot the mistake here as we wrap up this presentation, what did the student do wrong here? Unmute. Everjoy.
They put the date in a bracket, the year in a
Hmm?
bracket. They put the
Yes,
year in a bracket.
correct. Okay. So it's easy to tell or differentiate between a student who took the effort to read through the referencing guide or used the referencing tool and someone who just doesn't care. Copy and paste the references from the article. Paste. Right. Those are our details. If you have to drop us an email or log a ticket on Emirates Assist. We also have Tanya on the call. Tanya, do you want to greet our students while
Hello,
I
everyone.
switch
Sorry for taking some
to
time. Yes, hello,
Microsoft
everyone.
Word? Thank you, T, for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Tanya is the master in referencing. We learn from her, then we pass it on to you. Okay, I'll share my window again, Microsoft Word. Right, let me know if you can see my screen. We have 10 minutes now. Okay, so your lecturer advised you to use Microsoft Word referencing tool. So yeah, top right, what do we call this part here? The ribbon. Are you still there? Quiet, guys. Feeling lonely here.
We are
Oh,
here.
all right.
Sit on.
Thank you. Aha, that's it. So Harvard, by default, it's on Harvard, okay? And then should be Harvard Anglia. Yes, that's what we are using, right? Harvard Anglia referencing style. And then you would go insert a citation, add a new source, right? What textbook do you have in front of you? What module do you, should we start with a journal article or should we use a book of it? Let's go for a textbook, right? So you'll give us the author of the textbook. Now, you don't copy and paste here from wherever. So what I want you to do, take note, click on edit, add the author's surname, their first name, and then say John Smith. Okay, and then you add. We've got 4 more authors. You add all of them there, right? I'll tell you why. Let me add Razel. Right. Add. Okay. So if you will start typing there without clicking on edit, it might mix up the names and the surname. Deploy might come before phrasal, and then your reference is wrong now, because we want the author's surname ultimately on the reference list, the author's surname and initial, not the whole name. But now if you do it like this, the tool will know how to phrase it nicely. The title of the book, the year it was published, all these details are there either on the first page or second page of your textbook. Publisher, Ruta, Van Skeek, Macmillan. Edition is the second or third edition or first. Then you click OK. Boom, you got your reference. If you are referencing a journal article again, choose that. Also, go there, edit the authors. Journal articles have more authors sometimes, or up to 5 or 6. So don't be lazy, type them in there. Title of the article, you can copy and paste, but again, some titles are all in caps and it's not how we want it. Preferably type it in there, normal case, right? Name of the journal, the year, the volume number, the issue number. So you put in as much as you have or what has been given to you from the first page of the article. Some details will not be there, it's fine, but at least those highlighted in red here with asterisks, you should have the title. If you are missing most of these, then it's not a credible source, okay? You're not compelled to put in the month or the comments, standard number. But if the DOI is there, please edit the URL link where how you access the article so that we can also access it and check on it. Okay. What else? Back to citation. Okay. Adding your source. So once you've added your first source, so as you continue writing, you will just be clicking on that source. It will be added the second time you use it. The third time you use it, you won't have to come and fill in the details here. Okay. So I think you'll be using the book section, the journal article, conference papers, proceedings, reports, a website, depending on where you do your research. But I'd say a good report or a good assignment has mostly journal articles and ebooks. Journal articles from Google Scholar, from databases, EBSCOhost, you name them. Okay, where you got sources. Any questions so far? Yes, Lebrun. Better. She's still finding her mic. Okay, so once you add all your in-text citations, you will then click on bibliography, and then it will populate your references for you. Yeah, sorry, not bibliography, references. It will populate your references for you. Okay, the way we want it within the IIE. Happiness. Right, so once you have your reference there, you can choose to have it static, where it will now look like the no text within your document. You will not be able to see it like that. Yes, Everjoy.
What do you do when you want to add the same reference but at a different point?
The same
Do you
reference.
repeat, yeah, do you repeat the same steps or it's
No.
stored in somewhere?
So if we were to use John and Fraser in page 2 or page 3 of our assignment, we don't need to go now and capture. So as you work on your references, it will quickly appear. Check on top here, already John Smith is there. If I add a second one, it will appear, third one. So I'll be now just clicking on John if I'm citing John. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, that was what I was asking. I wanted to know
Okay.
if it gets to create a list for in citation where I can just access it.
Oh, okay. No. It's all there. Yes, Mr. Naidu.
Sakila, I just wanted to find out, with regards to referencing specific pages in your bibliography, or sorry, your bibliography, would you have to then reference, or in that reference put all of the page numbers that you used? Or can you give a range of, say, page 2 to 250, but you use certain pages between that range?
Mm, yes, you are correct, but not 2 to 50. Journal articles are normally 11 pages, 18 pages. But now in that 18 pages, you might have used content in page 5. Okay. So yeah, you are allowed to say page
Okay, but
1 to 11 if it's 11 pages. Yes.
okay, but if it's a textbook per se, right? Where a textbook is like 350 pages and you're taking content, or you're taking a theory stated on page 2 and a theory stated on page 150, is it okay to then give a range?
Yeah. So here you will add the page number in text citation as you cite in your document. So I took this from page 2, took this from page 5. Yeah, you can. You see, it allows you to add page numbers.
Okay, so what you're saying is don't give a range, give specific page numbers.
Yeah, preferably, because I know your lecturers always want to verify the information just to make sure you're not thumb-sucking this or making it up. So if you are specific to say page 10, you make their lives easy. Then they'll go on page 10 of that book and see if that content is really there.
No, understood. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Right. Did you learn something tonight? Yes, Kiara.
Hi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
So Mr. Naidu asked a question earlier. So I just have a follow-up on that. Is there a specific penalty or reason why we can't do referencing manually?
Repeat your question again. Sorry.
Is there a penalty if we do reference manually, or is there a specific reason why we are required to do it automatically?
I don't know if my colleagues would want to help me on this one. But I would say manual referencing is the best because you get to learn and know how to reference, okay, with the help of the guide. Once you've mastered that, then you can use the tool so much that if you make mistakes in the tool, you are able to correct them. If the tool, for some other reason, will put the year in brackets, for example, you'll quickly say, hey, something is wrong here. After the author's initial, there should be a comma, a full stop and a comma. If the tool doesn't do it like that, then you quickly can see. But the tool just makes life easy and quicker. We are pressed for time when we work for our assignments. So yes, it's about working smart, but you won't be
Okay.
penalized for using the other, not the other.
All right, I just wanted to confirm that. And I just have one more question. At my previous institution, we were given a list of sources, like specifically online, that we were not allowed to reference from. Are there any sources with IIE here that we would not be, or would not be advised for us to reference from?
Yeah, you Google for one. I'd say refrain from Googling content. You are a scholar, so use Google Scholar. Use the IIE library website. A lot of databases in there that are paid for, which if you were to Google, you won't have access to. You'll have to pay for those. Okay. So that's the content we want you to use. Anything outside that, then it's not a credible academic source.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Uniska.
Evening, Sakile. My question is, I think I already know the answer. I just need a double check on this one. So, should we use the app Zatora? I see there it doesn't really give the option to choose Harvard Anglia, but it does give the option to choose APA 7th edition. Is this the same type of referencing we can use, or is that gonna completely throw you off the ball game and you should rather then revert to manual referencing?
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. So if you have learned your manual referencing, you can use any. I prefer working from the APA, and then I just adapt it to Harvard because I've used APA a lot. So if my APA has brackets within the year, then I know I just need to go remove those brackets. I can use even a replace function in Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word, replace the brackets with nothing or with a full stop. Okay. So wherever there's a bracket to be taken off, because I know that's how it should be in Harvard, no brackets. I'll know that the journal name will not be in italics in APA. So when I now do it the way the IIE wants it, the journal name must be in italic. So you just need to know and make those changes. It moves quicker than starting afresh the whole reference manually. So it doesn't take away the fact that you need to know how to manual reference. When you use the tools now, just needs you to be sharp and make sure that the tool is doing what it should do. Happy with that? So yes, you can use Zotero, but just see if it aligns to the Anglia style of referencing.
Thank you.
Say yes. Good stuff. Okay. If we are all good, then let me wish you a good evening.